I was always amazed to see if I see a market that I know we can make a good living, strong pipeline of revenue, why people bigger than us are not there? And you might think it's because they don't see the same thing or the same value. A lot of time I realize is they don't want to be there because it will cannibalize another set of their business. Then you're like, if they are afraid to do that, I'm going to go after that.
There you go.
Because they're going to be the one afraid. They're the one that's going to say, well, don't worry about it. It's going to die. And essentially after that, and I wish I had AI tools at the time.
Right.
You can now use AI to do a lot of research about strength, competitive, what if scenario. Because a lot of this is you still have to convince your company to invest. So one of the hardest times is not to find necessarily the market or to see the how we're going to do it and the why. Is to see what's the value for the company and what are we going to stop to create the room for that.
Hi, I'm Danielle Thompson with Broadcast Year Authority. I'm here with my co-host Corey, and we're here to introduce our amazing guest, and I'll let you take the lead.
Hello. Thank you, Danielle. Corey Gladwell here. So our incredible guest, Michel Langlois, is a veteran technology executive with decades of leadership experience at Silicon Valley's pioneering networking companies. Beginning his career as a young software manager at Cisco during the rise of the commercial internet, Langlois quickly advanced to senior executive roles at Cisco, Juniper Networks, and Calix Inc. His work has been instrumental in driving innovation, scaling distributed teams, and re-engineering development processes and product directions while integrating acquisitions and fostering strategic product partnerships. Throughout his career, Langlois has successfully navigated periods of rapid growth, major market shifts, and unanticipated disruptions, overseeing the software development behind dozens of business units. Langlois' journey, marked by resilience, visionary thinking, and a commitment to empowering his teams, offers aspiring technical leaders valuable insights into a thriving dynamic industry. Would love to talk a little bit more about, first start with your background and then the book and kind of we'll go from there.
Yeah. So I was a chicken farmer and I'm not kidding. That's where I learned to innovate because on a farm, you need few things. I didn't like any of this thing when I was young, but you need discipline. There's no weekend on a farm. There's no weekdays. You have to do your chore. Then you go to bed and you can have fun. But it was kind of the discipline. But I think the biggest thing was I was used to say things will happen and have to figure out. And when people ask me what characterizes you in Silicon Valley is I could see a wall. I'll figure out to go. Not through it. I'm not big enough, but around it, I'll figure out a different path. And that's led into a career in Silicon Valley. I come from Canada, so we were used to isolation. Didn't like it, wanted to connect everything. And I was in a company that wanted to connect the world. So that was interesting. So we were my years at Cisco, it's more around scale. We were close to $1 billion. We went doubling size and revenue every 9 months for 9 years.
Wow.
Which basically mean we're a bunch of young people that have never run company of that size. And one point of time, I went to my boss and say, what am I supposed to do for that? We pay you the big buck. Go figure out.
Yeah.
So I was used to say, come with an answer and not with a problem. But what was interesting, we went into crazy year upscale. Then there's something at the time called the bubble, the web bubble. It did burst. And then the revenue fell from 50 million to 18 within 6 months.
Right.
So I used to say I never managed people until I hit that point. Because gone were the day where I say, hey, why don't you work for me? You're smart. I'll make you a millionaire. That was easy. I mean, I thought it was a good line to attract people.
Right.
And but after that, it was around, okay, how we're going to rebuild this business? Is there life after? We needed to scale down. So what people don't understand sometimes is scale up and scale down are two sides of a coin. And when you scale down, it's much more around show the journey, show where you're going, keep confidence in the troop, and talk to people.
Right.
Because people are a bit like chicken. Also, if they don't see you around, they start panicking and they get excited and they start making noise. So you have to basically, face the elephant in the room. That's what I learned. Yeah. The Juniper was more around an opportunity to say, here's a company that beat Cisco at its game. Mm-hmm. So I was always interested to say, how did he do that? Mm-hmm. But after 10, 12 years, that was a typical case of the founding club was retiring, and they never built a company to last after that. So there was no process. I had to go and re-engineer the company as a public company.
Oh,
so,
wow.
I mean, you cannot just stop everything and say, pimp your company if you want. I'll see you in 9 months. Mm-hmm. We had to learn how to take the Legos, reassemble them, put them, educate people on processes and discipline, and still innovating because everybody wanted to take us out of our game. Mm-hmm. So that was those years. That was for 5 years, and it was different ways to do coaching and leadership and innovate. And the third company was a company that had been in the business for 20 years. We're looking that the future will be connecting rural America, basically eliminating the digital divide, way ahead of their time,
right?
But too much away of the buying decision. Mm-hmm. But it turned out that the founders saw the company go into a phase where building hardware system would become commodity. Mm-hmm. So if you cannot say you have the fastest thing, because everybody has the same, then the software, which is kind of the brain, if you want, was the differentiation. And he can approach me to say, you like software, why don't we reinvent the company in the market and change the way people look at broadband network? Yeah. And broadband, by the way, used to be the poor children of networking. I don't want to work in a broadband company. That's just a pipe.
Yeah.
But you can imagine when COVID took place, people discover that broadband is really important for your life.
Very true.
Because everybody was working from home and interacting through the business, through the web and the connectivity. So 3 experience. That was interesting. The second phase that was more around, I always wanted to answer the question from my children. Why do you do that?
Right.
Because I had nothing to show to my kids. It was like, I built the internet. The what? After COVID, they knew what Wi-Fi was, and the internet is not working. But ultimately, I was like, why don't I talk about what it is to run an high-tech, engineering team, global, and I call it, I'll describe what it is to be in the kitchen because it's not what people think it is. I mean, there's so much movie where you get always a genius cracking into the code, inventing everything on the fly. And an engineering kitchen is different. You need chef, sous chef, exactly. You need roll, you need supply, you need things burn, explode, you drop water, you have to fix it. But what you present at the end looks like really orchestrated to the customer. So I said, why not telling young manager what to do, what I learned, what I wish somebody would have told me.
Right.
Because a lot of time you get young people that say, hey, how did you get to that level? Well, there's a process, there is a thinking, there's a ways to, every time you grow up in a company, expectation change. And what I learned is what's hard in high tech is past a certain level of seniority, like director. You used to be the smart person. You have the respect of your team because you can talk their language. You can invent.
Yeah.
When you go in upper scale of management, it's about the business. It's about building trust with the customer, telling the story, differentiation. This. I wanted to say there's ways to create a brand for yourself.
Right.
And there's ways also to realize that don't drink your own Kool-Aid also because everybody wants to be at the top of the pyramid. But it's a little bit isolation if you don't stay grounded with your people.
Right.
Because what I learned is people will tell me what I wanted to hear.
How did you get them to tell you the truth?
Skip level. Another way I had to tell them the truth is I had customers sometimes that were not happy with what we built.
Yeah, that's right.
So when a customer is really mad, they will send me because they will say, we want to talk to the person in charge to see the pain that it created for us. I realized, I like teamwork. Why don't I bring engineer with me when those great discussions happen?
Yeah.
They will learn, because for an engineer, especially in software, I used to say this thing, I sold to military. they depend on the network. And I remember this general 4-star.
Mm-hmm.
He looked at me and said, you know the difference between you and me when we make mistake?
Mm-hmm.
You reboot your thing. Me, I bury mine. So you expose my team, and I want you to understand this responsibility.
Yeah,
After that, I was like, oh dear.
That's powerful. Yeah.
It's things like that. So that's the kind of lesson I learned.
Yeah.
And after that is, look, engineer tends to use term like we're the best. Nobody can match out with a high performance.
Right.
And I used to say, it's like a race car. There will be another company that come with another shiny object. And we just have to learn to continuously innovate. Don't drink our own Kool-Aid. Stay humble.
Yeah.
Because I've seen company, I was in one company that became so arrogant that people didn't want to
How
buy.
did you stay humble, like learning from that? How did you stay humble moving forward so that way you could keep innovating, but also be excited about the growth you've had?
Well, look, it's a funny thing. Humble, and I had to correct that at Juniper with the team, doesn't mean that you don't talk about your achievement. If you really believe you have built kind of one of the best thing in the industry, talk about it. But what I learned is don't trust your competitor. They will come back and they will learn. And respect your customer also. Yeah. Because if they make buying decision that don't choose you, much more important I know why. What did we fail? What did we miss? Yeah. And that's why also part of it is you have to be customer centric. I mean, the customer will tell you, especially to some extent, if they have to make you successful. Think about it. If you put a network in the company, even if it doesn't work well, it takes 6 to 7 years to take a vendor in and a vendor out. So for during all that time, they will work with you to say, I'm stuck with you. It's like a bad marriage. I'm going to give you a chance, but we need to change some fundamental.
Right.
And that's ways like that I learned.
Yeah.
I kind of want to go into like layman terms of like what you do. Like if you can explain it to your child, exactly what you do, what does it look like?
And let's say your child was interested this time.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
So the simple line, I basically started to say, once they start to understand there's something called the internet.
Yep.
I said, Dad, with his engineering team, build the foundation of the internet. There's all those things that connect your device to the content. We're essentially the conduit for that. And that's one way I realized it's easier. After I told them what their Wi-Fi SSID was and the password, they were okay. So that was that. Then I realized after that, they said, yeah, but what do you do that? So I manage team. That was the first thing I had to explain is what's leadership and management about. And my kid, we used to say, yeah, but they're doing all the work. And you get paid more than those people. That's not fair. And I was like, oh boy. But I start to say, you have to make decision that impact not just us or the family, but our customer, our shareholders. So there's a lot of things I do, which is around making sure that we achieve expectation from money.
Greater responsibility.
And I say, whatever I do today, I have to start thinking 3 years from now what we going to build and sell, because it takes a while to do it. And then I explain that. And we will make mistakes. So, I mean, it's not like you're cooking the same. That's a different way I stop with the kitchen. In the kitchen, you can stick to your menu for a long time. It's your brand. I come for this. I say, look, technology will change, market will change. Yeah. There will be wave of innovation that you miss, and you have to stay current. And part of it is to find the right partner and the right people that can influence your thinking and get them on the boat. So there's a part of selling, there's a part of attracting. So that's the way I will describe it these days.
Yeah, I love that.
Because now they think internet is cool. That's okay.
So who would be, your book Beyond the Code, who would be like the perfect person if someone's watching this right now, obviously they should go buy it, but who would be like the perfect person to pick up this book, you think?
Think about three phases. If we talk about the people that are looking to go in the IT and how do you build a product which is different enough to create market traction? So call it a startup, call it a company that wants to become a market leader, there's learning there. How do you structure yourself for success?
Right.
Because remember, from the farm, it has to be organized.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. It's completely chaos all the time.
And how do you know it's going to take off?
You don't know.
Yeah.
But okay, there's ways you can take off, because if you've done your study, you have built something really different. The danger of being different is it a unicorn or not? Because you don't want to be a success of one thing. You have to be able to carry it with multiple products and so on. So if you test the market, you know what's been invented. You see early customer traction, and you can, there's a book called The Bowling Alley, if you want, from Jeff Remore. It's the typical case that if you can go real fast to go from 1 to 10 to 100 to 1,000, no different than the book industry when you think about it.
Right.
If you want a bestseller, you need momentum, you need to expedite your sales.
Right. Yeah.
So you do the same thing. So that's one way you do it. And you will know if you fail fast because they don't call you back.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But that's usually the recipe. The hardest thing in my mind is once you be successful with one, it's not enough. It's the second product, which is hard. Because the temptation is, I'll do the same Lego.
Yeah. Kind of rest on your laurels. You're like, I did the thing. Let's just
And that's where the risk factor comes, that you're so afraid to jump again that you stall.
That resilience, that kind of like innovation you had in the beginning to start that one thing and kind of create, and you were okay with failing fast because you didn't have anything at that point. But once that one product does really well, it's like, well, it's a lot harder to break out.
Now you have something to lose.
You have something to lose. And you said the brand and all the different things, you're like, and so to keep being able to innovate and keep, like you said, building new Lego pieces and changing things around. Yeah, that's definitely tough.
One way you can measure that easy is if you have access to a budget. I used to say to people, if you want to keep innovating, you have to put money on the side to do it.
Yeah.
So you'll see the tendency of companies that are on a path of becoming stagnant, that they put all the budget to pay, to run the business, the same business.
Yeah.
Because they want all the money to secure that, and say you're leaving crumbs for innovation. And we don't have, let's say, the money in the bank to just acquire people that are faster than us. So you're going to fail. So, I mean, it's like everything else. You have to diversify the portfolio and have a risk factor.
Yeah. What do you think about that? Like acquiring other companies to be able to do it faster?
Well, I'll give you an example. I was Cisco 15 years. We did acquire 180 company when I was there. How many were successful? Maybe 5.
Wow. Why do you think
by
that
successful was we kept the product, we kept the team, and the market wanted to have a differentiation associated to us. What we got was people. Because ultimately, it was around the people that we saw in innovation like that. Can they help us to extend our product in different ways?
Right.
That was, for me, the value. Because if you acquire a company and they're already mature enough, it's so hard to integrate.
Right.
Because especially with the engineer, I'm smarter than you.
Yeah.
So you get survival of the fitness. I don't like what you do. But one thing I learned is from a culture, if you buy a company, be really rigid into what's your culture about and what you're not going to trade. Processes and this and that. But what I believe is the success is not necessarily acquisition, is partnership. I do believe people now, all company will become somehow a system integrator or something.
Right.
And that's been also one of the problems I have with the engineer. One time I was discussion was, but that's not an invention. It's been done before. Why you want to do that? I say, it's been done in this other market.
Right.
Create value. If we take this, bring it to our set of Legos, the company will extend. But that's not an invention. I say, could you stop with that?
Yeah.
I mean, invention is something, but innovation is about adaptability. Take things that were done, change, modify, and take it from there. And that's what you need leaders that realize that's their job, is to stimulate that.
I mean, you're talking about that, the difference between innovation and invention. And I think it's a really good thing to like dive a little bit deeper on, because a lot of us, and we have a great idea, whether it's a brand new idea or an add-on to something you're currently doing, and you have a ton of experience in it, whatever else, it's like, oh, that's not new.
Yeah.
That's already been done. And so you just kind of stop. You're like, oh, well, someone else already did it, or, I don't need to do it, and it's not new. And I think you said this the other day, it's so important that it doesn't have to be a brand new invention to be able to be an innovation. And that if you can find a way to take a product and make it better, or take a software and make it better, take some service and make it a little bit better and add something to it and evolve, that there's so much value in that, the same, if not more, than the initial invention itself. So I'd love to, what are some of the keys, like the steps, the processes, the mindset to allow yourself to do that?
I'll give you a couple of views.
Okay.
And so one of the process I always took was, I have competitor. I like to know what's their strength.
Mm-hmm.
So I will do the typical SWOT analysis of competitor to say, they did that, I don't have that, should I have it, etc. So that gave me a competitive land. Sometimes I was always amazed to see if I see a market that I know we can make a good living, strong pipeline of revenue, why people bigger than us are not there? And you might think it's because they don't see the same thing or the same value. A lot of time I realize is they don't want to be there because it will cannibalize another set of their business. So then you're like, if they are afraid to do that, I'm going to go after that.
There you go.
Because they're going to be the one afraid. They're the one that's going to say, well, don't worry about it. It's going to die. And essentially after that, and I wish I had AI tools at the time.
Right.
You can now use AI to do a lot of research about strength, competitive, what if scenario, because a lot of this is you still have to convince your company to invest. So one of the hardest times is not to find necessarily the market or to see the how we're going to do it and the why. Is to see what's the value for the company and what are we going to stop to create the room for that. So you have to pitch to your own peers.
Yeah.
And this is where it's hard because the people that wants the statu quo or run the business or don't take risks will vote.
Love that. So if we wanted to find you on social media, if someone wanted to find you on our website, buy your book, get to know you further, work with you, where what would be the best place for them to find you?
Writing the book was something. Then I realized I need to publish it. I need to market it. So the engineer on me was scared of all of that thing. But I did find a set of partner, you guys. And ultimately, there's a website, there's a LinkedIn profile, we're tagging everything. And then, if people want to reach, they will have plenty of ways to do it.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. And also too, go to Amazon and buy Beyond the Code. I think right now it either is launched by the time you're watching this and become an international bestseller, or is on its way to launching, depending on when this gets published. But all the links will be in the description, and go from there.
Well, thank you all for being our guest on Broadcast Your Authority.
Thank you so much.
And until next time, we'll see you guys then.